Hi guys, so the Avanti is ready. I decided not to paint the wheels on silver, I leave them white. But the canopy is painted silver, it looks really cool. And I got rid of the pilot and the seats because I decided that when I will be making it 12S I need all the space there is to fit the batteries. So I've cut out the canopy inside the cabin. But I already have like 20 flights on it, so it's nice. And I think this is the best plane I've ever flown. Ever. It's so nice. The Black Horse Viper is also very nice. It's a nice plane, but this one is just so sweet. It flies slow, it flies fast, it handles it's tracking unbelievably. It's super nice and it's hard to stall. It's very nice. And we'll make 1 or 2 flights, depends on the weather because it's snowing a bit. But we will, in the end of the video, we'll show you, because some of you were asking how to iron the Oracover on the foam. So the end of the video will be from the workshop. I did already some orange stripes here, just to add, because this one is orange, this one is still white. So we'll do the other one and we'll play with that. So a few short flights and then we'll see each other in the workshop. Data readings after the flight. 6.5 minutes. Full power at full battery was 124 amps, 2.4 kilowatt. I'm flying on two Li-ion battery 6S in parallel, so it's 8000 milliamp per hour 6S. The plane is still light because I think it's 3 kilos. And it flies super nice fast, it flies super nice slow. I don't think we'll make another flight because it's so cold and it's snowing and it's dark. So one is enough, but you can see that the plane is agile and very stable, and even though it's windy, it's super steady and super controllable, and it's easy to maneuver. It's very predictable. And some of you were asking me in comments which one is a better flyer, this one or the Freewing Avanti. So by far this one. The flying experience is marvelous. It's really nice. So I recommend to everyone, if you're thinking which one to choose, to buy this one. This is a Freewing Avanti. The size is almost the same, but this one just flies much easier, fast, slow. It's way more steady. It doesn't stall so easy like the other one. The other one flies like a brick, and this one flies super light. So I hope you enjoyed the flight, and let's see you in a moment in the workshop. So we are in the workshop. As promised, we'll talk a little bit about ironing the Oracover film on the foamy model, because this is the Freewing Avanti foamy, which looks like fiberglass because it's so shiny and so smooth. And I think it's faster now because it's so smooth. You don't have the grooves and the holes, which are usual in the foamies. And some of you said that this is difficult. I think it's very easy, but there are a few steps that you have to consider to have a success, because I did it first time in my life, but it took a while to cover the whole plane in the Oracover. And also I had some failures during the flight, which I will talk about now. So this is a Oracover standard, the cheapest Oracover and the most standard there is. Only the colors are bright. I bought the fluo red, fluo orange and black, and these are the only ones that I use on this plane. And to show you how easy it is, this is a EPO. It's polypropylene, which is not affected by paint and by solvents, and it's more resistant to temperature, and not EPS. EPS is styrofoam, and it's much more fragile, and it's much easier to damage with the solvents and paints and with the iron. So I am not recommending doing this on the EPS, so styrofoam, but EPO, polypropylene, not polyester, polypropylene, it's very resistant for on temperature also. And this is the EPO block that I covered with this foil as a test, and it came very nice, and it's also harder. So if you're thinking about improving the rigidity of the plane, of the wings, putting the film is a good idea. Okay, so it's very simple. Very important advice in the beginning is how to cover the curves of the plane, because the plane, the wings are very simple because they're quite flat, but then we have curves like here, inside curves, like negative curves, which might seem difficult, but they're not actually so difficult once you apply very small pieces of foil at one time. Because if you want to cover the plane with a whole sheet of foil, it's just impossible. It won't happen. So you need to take, for example, here, long strips. Just attach it in the beginning and then iron it slowly along the curve to melt the glue. And setting of the iron, as I said in the video during flight, should be at half, exactly half. This is the standard iron, I think the most common in the world now. So you have a minimum, maximum and middle setting. It's adjustable, and if you go on maximum, you burn the foam. The minimum is not enough to melt the glue of the film, and middle is just enough to melt the glue, little bit shrink also, because this foil is also shrinking in temperature. But more important is that it is melting the glue. So half setting, it's good enough. And you can buy standard socks, it's a cotton sock, but I ran out of them, so this is just a piece of t-shirt, cotton t-shirt that I wrapped around and tightened with a few nuts, and it works perfect. So it's enough. Okay, so when you have this strip, you just iron the beginning of it and then slowly iron it, and then it comes very nice. If you have a spot that you need to shrink the foil, you can set the iron a little bit hotter and then it shrinks. But for example, if you have a wing and you have after a few flights, you can have some wrinkles coming out here, so it means that the foil came off and it's not shrinked enough. You can also use a heat gun, a normal heat gun, and just for a second direct it to the bubble and it will shrink, and then take it away and press it with your hand. And it will nicely glue without damaging the foam. But the important thing, don't point the heat gun towards naked foam like here. This is naked foam, because it will melt the foam. The shrink wrap, the Oracover film is like separating, it's like creating a boundary layer which is preserving the foam. So it's nice. Okay, and I will just show you quickly before I show you how to apply it. I'll just say one more thing because I will forget it. When you cover the wings, it's always better to cover, either in one piece or in few pieces, to cover the wing from the top and from the bottom, but not really taking care of the leading edge. The leading edge can stay bare, naked, like let's say last half a centimeter of leading edge, because anyways you will have to cut a long strip like 1.5 cm wide. Okay, this is the foil, this is just the paper. This foil has a color from the top and glue from the bottom, because you will have to cover the leading edge with the single strip or a few running strips. And why is it so important? Because this way you cover, with this plastic, you cover the ending of the film that is on the top of the wing and on the bottom of the wing with like an overlap. And this way the wind flow will not peel up the surface on the top or on the bottom. And I made the mistake, and on the horizontal stabilizers I didn't do it, and in one flight that was actually, it's in this video, I think it's recorded, the film came off because I didn't do it on the horizontal stabilizers. So you have to have this strip to overlap on the leading edge, otherwise it will come off. It will glue off, because there is a lot of stretch and there is a lot of play in the foamy wing. It's not so rigid like the balsa, and also the grip of the glue is not so strong like to the balsa. So that's why you need to overlap it. Of course, the Oracover, they say that you need to clean with a solvent the film before applying a second layer like this, but I never did it, and it holds nice. So I just show you how it works. Look, and one important thing I will show you. You see, it's super easy and super fast. You just glue it. When the foil is getting dark, it means that the plastic itself reached enough temperature to shrink. This is the sign that the plastic is shrinking, because glue itself, when it's melting, the Oracover is not changing color, but when it changes color, that it means that the iron is slightly too hot and that the plastic is shrinking, which is also nice, because then the whole wing will be nicer. But if you exceed certain temperature, you will have bubbles from the foam, because the foam will start deforming and it will create bubbles. But one important thing, You can all, if you don't like the pattern, if you don't like the job you did, don't worry, it's not risky, because you can very easily peel off the Oracover without any damage to the foam. It's super nice, because this way you can play with colors and you can make up your mind many times. So it's also safer, because if you don't do a good job and you're not satisfied with the quality, you can always easily peel it off and then do again. But one very important advice: when you want to peel off the Oracover, you have to wait till the glue is cold, because when you will be peeling off, when the glue is still hot, the glue will stay on the bottom surface and you will peel off just a strip of film without the glue, and it will be ugly. So never do it. Wait till the foil is cool, and then when it's cool, oh, you see it's not cool yet, and the glue is separating. Look, the glue is separating from the foil, so we still need to wait a little longer. Yeah, it's enough. But if you don't wait enough, this is just the glue. If you and the foil is here. If you don't wait enough, the glue will make an ugly stain. This is the foil. Okay, so it's so simple. Very important advice: go in small steps, small increments. Take it very slow, and you will see that it will come very nicely. Of course, when you do a checker like here on the wing, the pattern, you can put the foil, which is quite transparent, on the wing, and you can see how to cut the pattern. But when you cut, it's super important to have super sharp hobby knife and cut very shallow, because cutting into the wing is always a bad idea. Okay, and you know, in the control surfaces, you just have to ride in with the iron. You just ride in deeper with the iron to iron it nicely. You know, also with on the side, you just flip it like this, the iron, and here. But it's very intuition, like you do it with your intuition. It's very obvious. You don't need to guide for this. And expect that sometimes some pieces of Oracover will stick off after a few flights, because your hands are greasy and it's not always perfect, but you can always very quickly iron it back, and it's super nice. So this is it. I don't know if I want to tell you, and of course it's always easier to do it with the wings separate than with the whole plane, because you have to move the whole plane around, and when you do a single wing on the table is much easier. So this is what I did. I did one wing, second wing, the fuselage itself, then I put it together to see how it looks, and then I disassembled it again, and I finished the whole thing. So it looks like this. Only on very complicated surfaces, like here the front landing gear doors, it didn't come nice, so I just removed it and I painted it with black spray paint, because it's plastic anyways, so it's okay. But here the whole wing is covered with Oracover, and it's very nice, and the surface is clean and smooth, so it gives a nice area for the wing. The smoother the wing, the faster the plane. So this is and one more thing about if you will be doing this plane, the good idea is to do it before attaching the servo horns. Horns. And I actually hid this is servo horn, yeah. The servo horn or servo arm I hid inside the hole, and I covered the whole wing, just cutting the small cuts for these horns. And then after I finished everything, I took a hobby knife, I cracked it a little bit open, and the servo arm came out. And it's actually nice, because it's like sealing the entry to this huge hole that was before, and now it's quite tiny gap, which is good for the airflow. Okay, and one more thing about this. If you want, I can send you the STL file for the thrust nozzle. It's nice because now it's very sharp, and the airflow is laminar, so you don't create unnecessary drag here in the tail, and the plane is faster. So I just printed it with PLA and sprayed with silver paint, and that's it. Okay, this is my favorite plane. I really love it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun. So, see you next time in the next video. And there is one guy. You know him already. My cat Bob, he's always around when the camera is on. He's always around. So, see you next time.